to interpreting the scares. That's right. We're back out on our month-long journey throughout the nightmares, covering 31 foreign horror films in chronological order. And we've come a long way, but we are finally on the last leg of the month, and we have spoken a lot about Ju-on films, including Ju-on the Curse, Ju-on the Curse 2. We've talked about Ju-on the Grudge, Ju-on the Grudge 2, and covered Ju-on the White Ghost, Ju-on the Black Ghost, Ju-on the Beginning of the End. But now we are finally on to the final installment of this franchise with Ju-on the Final Curse. We're all very much aware that it's most likely not the final Ju-on film that we'll ever see, but as of recording this review, it is the final film to be released. But after today, I'm not quite done talking about it. I'll explain why a little bit later, but for now, let's break down The Final Curse. Ju-on, The Final Curse, takes place after the events of the last film. After a woman goes missing, her sister is on the lookout, leading her to discover the secrets of this ever-expanding Ju-on grudge curse that is killing a lot of people around town. It also leads her to the mystery of Toshio and potentially a solution to stop the curse once and for all. Now, even though this is the final Ju-on film, it's not the last time we'll ever see Kayako, as I'll cover a movie not tomorrow but the day after that, which features her character in another film. I don't want to give too much away there, but let's just say that I'm insanely curious on how that's going to even work. Also, I cannot promise anything at this point, but I am also aware that recently Netflix has come out with a Ju-on Origins series that's more about the alleged true story that inspired the films in the first place. I wanted to watch that and maybe cover it as a special this month. I may still do that, haven't decided yet, but just to let you know, I am aware of it. Anyway, The Final Curse is an okay film. I don't have a ton to say about it because it's not a movie that has a ton of substance. I can tell you that it took me 3 attempts to actually finish the thing because I kept falling asleep. Not to say that it's boring necessarily, it just was late and I was tired, but it wasn't engaging enough to keep my interest. We'll just say that. And as far as the scares are concerned, The Final Curse often has some of the most original and the most creative kills and scares in the entire saga, so it does have that going for it. It reminded me about some of the earlier, original Ju-on films that went above and beyond, trying to find the weirdest places for these ghosts to show up and give the audience a little bit of a scare. Same goes here, and I actually appreciated that because that was something that I could always count on the series to do. You know, make weird, illogical jump scare moments. Narratively, though, this film is as uninteresting and as flat as a sheet of paper. Scares work a lot better when they're attached to characters that you like, memorable environments that suck you in, and a story that keeps you guessing. This has none of that. All the characters here were boring for the most part, other than this one interesting girl in a hospital wing that was playing Rear Window. She was great, but everybody else, blah. None of the environments were memorable at all. Now, every single Ju-on film up to this point has had that haunted house that looks so unique and different both inside and out. Even the American film had that, but the house in this was so average and nondescript. And the story is basically a mix of stuff that we've all seen before in the series and nothing that feels unique to itself other than maybe them trying to find a way to end the curse for good. But I'd also argue that that's a very trivial part of the film and more or less glossed over and ignored, so it's kind of a moot point. One of my complaints about the previous film was that it convoluted itself by including 2 Toshio characters, and the same goes here, but they at least attempted to explain why that was. I appreciated that, but the fact that they had to do that in the first place was part of the problem. Overall, I do not have a ton of great things to say about this film. You know, it is okay, it's made as well as they could make it given the fact that it didn't have the strongest foundation or story. The scares are the best part of the film. They are the most creative and original that I've seen them be in quite some time, like I said. But without a strong original story, the scares are just that, and they end up being as forgettable as everything else. I scored Ju-on the Final Curse a D+ letter grade, final overall score of 51%, 51 out of 100 possible stars, which is a score that's pretty much split right down the line. There is just so much going on in this film that neither impressed me nor stood out specifically as bad. It just kind of felt safe. Like, yes, we had to tell the story because we couldn't just leave it open like we did in the last film. We had to finish the story, so let's just make an entire film that's just not interesting in the least bit. While I am interested to see where they take this Kayako character in the future, I'm also kind of glad that the Ju-On series is done, because I'm a little bit exhausted, but maybe you loved it. Maybe I'm wrong about the whole thing. You let me know in the comment section down below. And as for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe button, and bell to be notified when I come out with my next film review for Interpreting the Scares. And until then, peace out.